I just passed the CISSP exam, and when I started studying for the exam, I stopped shaving. So if you hold on a minute, I'll be right back. I have to go take care of something. Okay, I'm back. I got the majority of it off. So yeah, so I just passed the CISSP exam, and I'll just tell you how I studied for it. It took about 4 months to study, starting in January. Um, I started with the Shon Harris book, which was if you're familiar with it, it's pretty intense. It's I don't know, it's definitely I think the biggest one of the lot, and it goes super in depth into everything you would need to know. So I think I read about half of that, and then I stopped and I moved over to the Conrad book, which I think is the most succinct version. That's the I'm not sure who I'm looking at my I'm not sure who makes it, but I don't you easy to find. It's a Conrad one. I read that one completely, um, and then I went to the official Cybex book because I started realizing more and more that since it's the official one, that's definitely probably the most important one to read. And it's also I think the Cybex one is probably somewhere in the middle between the Shon Harris one and the Conrad book in terms of having the information that you'll need, not totally overwhelming you, but giving you sort of theoretically everything you're going to need for the exam. So I read that one all the way through, and then maybe read it, and then I read it again, starting actually from the back, chapter by chapter, and along with that, I purchased the Sybex practice questions. So I would do read one chapter starting from the very back, and the reason why I started from the back is because I think yeah, as you're going through a lot of these books, you're gonna start with chapter one, and that's going to be your biggest focus, the start of each book. So I thought give the back more attention, um, and yeah, I would read a chapter from the Cybex, and then do one of the Cybex the practice chapters from the Cybex practice book, which is also you can get online. There's like an online version of it through Whoot, I think is it Wiley. But anyway, with your if you purchase the book or download it through Kindle, you can access it through the online bank as well. So what else did I do? I bought the Transcender Cybrary practice exams. Um, I took a lot of the McGraw Hill questions, which are those are the Shon Harris questions. Those ones are exactly like her book, which are like they're intense. They're super in depth questions, and I wouldn't if you take those and go through those. Um, don't let it like demoralize you because it's a bit of a shock when you start taking those questions compared to some of the Cybex questions or the other um, um, example questions you'll find out on Google or anywhere else. They're just a lot harder. So along with that, I took lots of flashcards, lots of notes. I also downloaded all the free apps I could find on iOS for CISSP, and there were only most of them were pretty crappy, honestly. The one I liked the most was the Pocket Prep. I'm sure the ones that you paid for were maybe better. I don't know, but the free ones, most of them were pretty junky, but the Pocket Prep one was really good. Um, what else? I watched the Kelly Handerhan Cybrary videos, which are all free. Those are awesome. She's awesome. I During the last week, as I was preparing, you have a 7-day free trial with Cyber Nuggets, which is the Keith Barker videos. Um, and I think there are some practice questions there too. I signed up for that, and I watched as many of his videos as I could within that week. He's really good. He's cool the way he draws as he goes. So anyway, if you want it's probably well worth paying for. But I just did it for that last week. Um, I'm realizing I missed a spot. right here. I missed a lot of spots. Anyway, what else? So, yeah, I use the CISSP Pocket Prep app on iOS. Um, oh, I also did something where, and you can see it probably on this channel. It'll probably show up as a related video. That at least for the first month and a half or so, although I would have loved to keep doing it, it was slowing me down. But what I was doing was actually teaching a lot of the concepts through YouTube videos. I was creating videos um, where where I would try and explain what the concepts were to anyone watching them, and I think that definitely helped solidify a lot of the concepts. I think I made like 70 videos or something like that. They're all like a minute and a half, or even less. And particularly, I did one for the OSI, which helped me to memorize all the layers of the OSI. But then I had to stop because, yeah, like I said, it slowed me down. And like to keep doing, it would take me like years to finish all the concepts that you learn from these books for the CISSP. So maybe someday I'll do more, and I hope some of them out there help other people. You know, they certainly helped me to solidify the information. What else did I do? Lots and lots of notes, flashcards. I listened to some of the Shon Harris MP3s, which you can download through the McGraw Hill, where the quizzes are. I think I did that towards the very end. I don't know if it would have ultimately helped more. I mean, I passed the exam, so yeah. She just awesome, super in depth. I think Kelly Handerhan is the most accessible. So anyway, so the exam itself, you're under an NDA. That's the first thing you do when you go into the exam. You sign an NDA. So I can't go into specifics about the exam, but all I can say is that it's crazy. It's really, really hard, and you're going to feel super underprepared and overwhelmed when you get in there. And just remember that if you're at this point in the video, I know it looks like we're approaching 8 minutes now, and if you include the start, it's going to be like, I don't know if you're here. If you're here, long story short, yeah, you're going to feel overwhelmed. Take deep breaths. Try and get a good night's sleep the night before. Everything everyone's going to tell you, and just the one thing I watched in the afternoon, yesterday afternoon, before I took the exam, was Kelly Handerhan has a video. It's called, like, you can find on YouTube. It's Kelly Handerhan, and it's like last tips. It's like the top 10 tips for taking the CISSP, and I think it's actually, I guess maybe it's called Frame of Mind. Anyway, watching that, and also watching Larry Greenblatt's, I think that's his name, Larry Greenblatt. Sorry, I have so much information clogged in his head now and starting to seep out. But Larry Greenblatt has lots of cool videos, and there's one, I think it's a 40-minute video, and it's about getting into the frame of mind for the CISSP, and that's super useful. The main message is think like a boss, and when in doubt, don't do, have someone else do. That's sort of where it's at. But yeah, the exam, you will feel totally overwhelmed, underprepared, and you just have to go with your, think the questions through, look through the answers, realize it's not like all the practice exams that you see. All the practice tests tend to have very clear wrong answers, and the CISSP, the real exam, tends to have a lot of competing possible answers. So you just have to follow your gut, study. I was getting up to, on the practice exams I was taking, I think I was getting up to about anywhere for some of the Transcender ones, I was getting anywhere, for some of them I was doing up to like 90%, and other ones I was getting like 30%, very few 30%, but overall I think I was averaging about 80% on all the practice exams if you put them all together. Um, so that's where I took the test and I passed. Although I passed at the end. So like a lot of people, the test turns off after 100 questions. I went all the way to the end. So um, oh, another thing, the dojo questions are pretty good for just a quick couple of questions to like as you're going through the day. Flashcards, deep breaths, good night's sleep. Anyway, I passed. I passed last night. I now have to go and do a real shave, but I just wanted to share that with you. My experience, and and lots of Google and lots of YouTube, lots and lots of YouTube. Like just understand the concepts. You just have to keep understand. If you don't get it, keep going. Um, you're going to be surprised after you take the exam or during the exam how much information you now have that doesn't even come up on the exam, but you got to know it all. So good luck. That was my story.